We begin now in the top of Berachos Daf Yud Tes Amud Beis. This is Berachos Daf 19b. The Mishnah discussed Ha'omdim B'shura, those who stand in rows to comfort the Avel, to give comfort to the mourner. Tanu Rabbanan, we learned in a Brisa, Shura Haroa Penima, the part of the row that sees the inside, Petura, that is pater from recite. Those people are pater from reciting Kriyas Shema. V'she'eno Roa Penima, if they don't see the inside, Chayeves, they are chayev in the recitation of Kriyas Shema. Rashi here explains, what does it mean they see the inside? They see where the Avel is sitting. Eschalal hahekef achore shura hapnimis v'ha'avel yoshev sham, the area where the Avel is sitting on the inside of the row, that makes a person pater from reciting Kriyas Shema if he's in that area. Rabbi Yehuda says, Haboy machmas ha'avel paturin, those who come because of the Avel are pater. Machmas atzman chayav, and those who come on their own, not because of the Avel, they are chayiv. And Rashi here explains, what does it mean they come on their own or for themselves? Machmas atzman velo machmas kavod. They don't come to honor the mace. Shelo bo lenachem. They're not coming to give comfort. Elo liros es hamaor. They're just coming to see that which is happening. So those people are not pater. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav. Rav Yehuda says in the name of Rav, Hamotzi kilayim bebigdo. If somebody finds kilayim in his clothing, poshtan, he should take off the clothing. V'afila b'shuk, even when he's in the marketplace. My time, and what is the reason? Ein chachma ve'ein tevuna ve'ein eitzel leneged Hashem. There's no wisdom against Hashem. Somebody needs to do the right thing, even if it seems to be something that shouldn't be done. But if it's the right thing to do, the person should do it. And the Gemara explains, Kol makom sheyesh chilul Hashem, in any situation where there is a possible chilul Hashem, ein cholkin kavod l'Rav, we do not give kavod to the Rav. There's no kavod against chilul Hashem, and therefore the person cannot wear the kilayim. Meisvei. So we have a question from a brisa. Kavru es hameis. Let's say they bury the dead body, v'chazru v'lifneim beis derachim, and on their way back, returning, they have two paths that they could take, two roads to take. Achas tahora v'achas tameya. One is tahor, one is tameh, one is pure, and one is impure. Ba b'tahora bain imo. So if the Avel goes in the tahora, they go with him. Bain imo b'tahora, they go with him in the tahora, in the tahor path. Ba b'tameya. If he goes on the Tameh path, they go with him on the Tameh path. Mishum kevodo, because of his honor. So the Gemara says, what do you mean because of his honor? Amai, why? Leima ein chachma vein tefillin neged Hashem. We said before, anytime there's chil Hashem, we're not cholkin kavod. We don't say honor takes the place of the chil Hashem. So therefore, they shouldn't go with him on the Tamei road. Tirgama Rabbi Abba bebeis hapras derabanan. Rabbi Abba answers here, we're not talking about when he's going in an area that's actually Tamei on a deoraisa level. We're talking about a situation where it is Tamei on a derabanan level. Diamar Rav Yehuda Amar Rav, Rav Yehuda Amar Shmuel. Rav Yehuda said in the name of Shmuel, a person can blow in a beis hapras to see if there's any bones, to see if there's any tumah, and he can walk. So what is a beis hapras exactly? So Rashi here explains, beis hapras v'hu soda shenechrash bo kever. It's referring to a field where there was a kever, a burial site that was plowed over. We're afraid that some of the bones might have been moved around over there. So we're afraid you're going to come in to either touch it, to lift it up, and that is tameh. That is tameh if you do those things with a bone even the size of a barley. So v'kevan to be derabanan who does, or since it's only derabanan, rabbanan who dachlu liyakrayo gabe avel. So by an avel they were mochel dachlu liyakrayo. They were mochel. They're covered when it came to an avel. So you see over here as well, the Gemara is proving that the fact that a person can go through a beis hapras and blow on the dirt to make sure to see if there's any bones or not, that shows that since we're lenient in that way, it shows that by this derabanans we're lenient in these situations. V'yamar Rav Yehuda bar Ashi mishmei derav, and similarly Rav Yehuda bar Ashi says in the name of Rav, beis hapras shenidash tar. If you have a beis hapras which has been stepped on, trampled with the feet, we can assume that any bones there have been essentially pulverized, and it is tar. Again, a leniency by a beis hapras. Tashma bring another proof. Damar Rav Elazar bar Tzadok. Rav Elazar bar Tzadok said, "Medalgin hayinu al gabe arona shel mesim." We would jump over the caskets of the mesim of the dead, likras malchei Yisrael, in order to greet Jewish kings. V'lo likras malchei Yisrael b'vad. Not only to greet Jewish kings, Amru, did they say this halacha el afilu likras malchei akum? They said even to greet non-Jewish kings. Shem yizke sheyavchin bein malchei Yisrael and malchei Akum. Because this way, a person, if he merited, he could understand the difference between malchei Yisrael and malchei Akum. But again, why are we allowing tumah in this situation? Amai leima ein chachma vein tvuna vein eitzel neged Hashem. We should say the same thing. It's an area of kavod, but that doesn't override. That doesn't go keneged Hashem. Why are we allowing the tumah? The Gemara answers kid Rava. No, it's like Rava said. The Amar Rava said, Devar Torah oel kol sheyesh bo chalal tefach chotzitz b'fnei atumah. According to the Torah, if you have an oel, if you have essentially a roof over the mace, as long as there's a space of a tefach, it separates from the tumah, and it blocks the tumah from going up. So if you're going over a casket and there is a halal tefach, it's an oel, and you wouldn't become tamei. V'she'ein bo halal tefach. But if there's not a space of a tefach between the ceiling and between the top of the casket and the mace, eino chotzitz b'fnei atumah. It would not separate from the tumah. V'rov aronos yesh ben halal tefach. Now the majority of aronos have this halal tefach. So it's on a Torah level, you don't have to worry. On a Doraisa level, you're tar. The Gazra al Sheyesh ben Mishum She'ein ben. And they only made a decree, they made a gezerah not to walk over the caskets, since there are some that don't have a halal tefach, so they said by all caskets, by all aronos, a person should be strict. Mishum kavod malachim lo gazru bu rabbanan. But when it came to the honoring of kings, the rabbanan did not enforce their gezerah, their decree. Tashmal tried to bring another proof to this. Gadol kavod habrias shadoch as lo saseh shevet Torah. Kavod habrias is so great, a person's honor is so great that it pushes off a lo saseh in the Torah. Now this seems to be explicitly against what we said before, because there's a case of shatnez, and you certainly have kavod habrias involved. If the person is required to take off his clothing because there's some shatnez in his clothing, that would certainly be kavod habrias. And it says here that kavod habrias is great, and it pushes off a lo saseh. V'amai, why is this? Leima ein chachma vein tvuna vein eitzel neged Hashem. Again, kavod habrias should not override. So the Gemara answers, Tirgamor Rav Bar Shava Kamei Rav Kahana. Rav Bar Shava answered in front of Rav Kahana, Belav de lo sasur. It does not really mean a lav, a lo saseh. It's not the kavod habrias is docha lo saseh. It's talking about the lav of lo sasur. The Torah says don't turn away from that which the chachamim tell you. It's really just a way of saying derabbanans, and we're only talking about derabbanans here. So achichu aleh. So they laughed at this answer. Lav de lo sasur doraisahi. The lav of lo sasur is doraisa. We're talking about it's not doraisa. It's we're talking about the Rabbanans over here. Amar Rav Kahana says, Gavra Rabbo Amar Milsa Lo Sechichu Aleh. A great person said this, don't laugh. What we mean is as follows. Kol Mili de Rabbanan, anything that the Rabbanan instituted, Asmechinu Alav de Lo Sasser. They relied it upon the lav of Lo Sasser. Umishum Kavodo Shor Rabbanan. But because of his kavod, because of his honor, the Rabbanan said, you don't have to worry. So the Gemara originally said Lo Sasser is a pasuk in the Torah. What are you talking about? Oh, don't worry, it's not a doraisa, it's not a lav, it's Lo Sasser. The Gemara explained that lo sasser is just a way of is just an asmachta, or I should say, the Rabbanans are just an asmachta upon lo sasser, and we're only talking about the Rabbanans in this statement. Tashma tried to bring another proof. Vesalamta mehem, it says that a person, it's referring to the fact that when a person finds a lost object on the road, the person should not hide from it. He shouldn't act as though he didn't see the lost object. Rather, he should return it. So the Gemara darshans, pa'amim shata misa'alei mehem, u pa'amim she'inata misa'alei mehem. It really means, the pasuk means to say that sometimes the person is allowed to hide from the lost object, to not and is not obligated to return it, essentially. Sometimes the person is not allowed to do that, he must return it. How does this work? Im haya kohen v'hi beveis hakvaros. For example, if the person is a kohen and the lost object is in the cemetery, tamei area, or haya zaken, or if the person is an elder ve'eno lefi chavodo, and it's not an object which it would be honorable for him to be carrying around, or even more simply, if he has work to do, and the amount of money it will take to return this lost object, which let's say is not worth nearly the amount of money that he makes in his job, so that's another situation. Lekach nemar v'salamta. In those cases, a person is allowed to not return the object, because, for example, the last case, a person has business to do which is worth a lot more than the amount of money of the lost object that he's returning, so he doesn't have to return it. If a person is a kohen, he can't become tamei, and it's in the Beis HaKvaros, he doesn't have to return it. So again, the Gemara says, "Amai, why? Leima ein chachma vein tvuna vein eitzel neged Hashem." Especially in the case of the zaken person, the old person, because of kavod, he doesn't have to return the lost objects. Again, we should say kavod is not docha the mitzvah. So the Gemara says, no, Shani Hasam, it's different over there. Dichsiv, Hisalamta Mehem. It's being learned out of a pasuk of Hisalamta Mehem. So there's a specific pasuk telling you, but that's not a general rule. In general, kavod does not exempt a person from doing mitzvahs. In this one case, we have a pasuk. So the Gemara says, V'ligmar mina, but why don't we learn from this case to other cases? Generally speaking, when we have a pasuk that teaches a principle, we don't say it only applies there. We say the principle applies everywhere. So the Gemara answers, Isura mimamona lo yalfina. No, it is true that the principle might apply in other cases, but that's only by mammon, by monetary situations. We don't learn out Isser from mammon. So you wouldn't, let's say, take this case and then derive that the same would apply by shatnez, that a person doesn't have to remove the shatnez because of kavod. You can't make that derivation. Tav Shma, bring another proof. Ula achoso. So this is talking about a nazir. The pasuk talks about different people who a nazir may or may not be allowed to be. Generally, a nazir is not allowed to become tameh. So who is he allowed to become tameh to? Who is he not allowed to become tameh to? So the pasuk lists a bunch of relatives. Now, from the one of the relatives that's listed is the nazir's sister. And the question is, why do we need each relative listed? So the Bryce is going to say that ula achoso actually teaches us a kind of completely unrelated to Nazir halacha about Tumah. Since it's an extra word in the pasuk, we learn out as follows. Uli achoso, it says that the Nazir becomes tamei to his sister. Ma ta'am alone. Why is the pasuk saying uli achoso? It's referring to a person who is going to either do the mitzvah of shechting and Karm Pesach, or he's going to do the mitzvah of bris milah, v'shama shemes lo meis, and he hears that a relative of his died. Yachol yachzor v'yitma. I might think he can become tamei. Amrit lo yitama. That's why the pasuk says no, he cannot become tamei. However, yachol kashem she'eno metamei lohem kach eno metamei lameis mitzvah. I might think, just as he cannot become tamei to them, he's not allowed to become tamei to a mace mitzvah. Let's say he sees a mace on the road, nobody's there to deal with it. Tamei lomer ulachoso. That's what this pasuk comes ulachoso. Lachoso hu deino metamei. He's not allowed to become tamei to his sister. And the Gemara will go on the next Amud on Daf Chaf Amanav to say, but he is allowed to become tamei to a mace mitzvah. Just to give some examples of some of the other extra words in the pasuk, Rashi says here by Nazir it says he shouldn't come al nefesh meis lo yavo, but then it says lo aviv leimo lo achiv ulachoso lo yitam. It then says not only should he not come upon a mace, the Nazir should not become tamei to his father, his mother, his brother, his sister. He shouldn't. So why does it have to say relative specific if it just said he can't come tamei to anybody? So the Gemara, their darshans each one. V'lam yatzu lo aviv prat lemeis mitzvah. Tell you a father not, to exclude a mace mitzvah, he could become tamei to a mace mitzvah. Le'imo matam aloma mishum mace mitzvah lo itzrich. What about imo? You don't need it from mace mitzvah. To me lo aviv nafka, we learned it out from aviv. So the Sifri says lilmod shem haya nazir zeh kohen. Let's say he's both a nazir and a kohen. To have a leshtei kedushas, he's got two things. Afhu le'imo hu lo yitama. So to him he cannot be tamei to his mother, but he can be tamei to a mace mitzvah. La'achiv, the Gemara says a Kohen Gadol is another, same idea. He can be metamei to a mace mitzvah. By the time we get to Lachosa, we have nothing else to include. So that's why Lachosa is to tell you that mace mitzvah is okay for this person who's going to shecht a Karm Pesach or going to give a bris milah to his son. That is the end of Daf Yud Tes Amud Beis, and we will continue with the next Daf, the next Amud in the next video.